But the big headline is, of course, Arsenal. 49 games this season, they had 3 defeats, and they've now lost back-to-back in 2 different competitions. Blip or a crisis?
Well, it's not a crisis because they're 9 points clear in the league. They're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and if you'd have said at the start of the season, would you take that? There's not an Arsenal fan that wouldn't bite your hands off for that. So it's not a crisis, but when an elite team, as Arsenal are, lose a big match like they lost the Carabao Cup final and are outplayed as they were at the Carabao Cup final, you immediately look at how do they bounce back? What's their reaction to this? And they've gone to Southampton and lost. It's not their first team. You know, there's no Declan Rice, there's no Timber. But it wasn't a great Arsenal performance. They're out of 2 competitions. The 2 competitions they've still in are the biggest ones. But they're also the hardest to win because you've got Manchester City closing. The interesting thing I thought yesterday is that the level of performance, I know we'll come on to Man City later in the programme, but the level of performance of Manchester City against Liverpool, I don't think I've seen Arsenal play like that all season. They played really well in their own way, but you haven't seen them turn in a performance like the one that City put on Liverpool yesterday. And you look at that and you think, this could be interesting. This could get interesting.
Wrong tonight?
The results. And especially the way we conceded the 2 goals.
Yeah. What happened? What from your point of view was wrong about those 2
We
goals?
had a lot of moments. We have so much dominance, so much situations in and around the box. We conceded the first goal in a very unusual way for us in the way we defended the box. The second one from direct play as well. But they had another chance in the first half, very similar to that, even without touching the ball. And yeah, when you have that many situations in the final third in and around the box, we had 2 massive chances just before Southampton scores. You need to capitalize on that. Otherwise, if you make the defending errors that we made today, it's very difficult to be in a semi-final.
Did they surprise you? I mean, they caused you problems, and I know you've talked about the ones you caused them.
Surprise, no.
No.
They're a really good side. They've been in a really good run, and you have to congratulate them.
Yeah. And again, not to make excuses, was the conditions a headache, a problem for maybe for both teams, but for your back line tonight?
Conditions.
The wind?
You have to adapt to the wind, to the injuries, to whatever. You want to be in every competition and win. You have to adapt to any context. And now you have to adapt to difficult situations in the season or disappointing situations, because difficult is something else in my opinion. And now we have to show what we are made of. Yeah,
and you had to pick a team maybe out of necessity that doesn't play all the time with each other. Is that an excuse?
No, it's not. And that team had very good moments in certain moments in the game that should have capitalized and be in Wembley, and we haven't done it. So that's our responsibility.
And another headache, your centre half Gabriel coming off injured. What can you tell us?
I don't know. He had to come off. Obviously, that's a strange coming from Gabi, but we're going to have to assess and see how he is.
And a difficult couple of weeks now, straight into Lisbon.
Yes, but some beautiful weeks ahead as well, with what we have to play in the quarterfinals of the Champions League and what we have to play for in the league as well.
We look forward to that. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
Straight away.